What's up, my peeps? Good day to you. Today's video is going to be a little different than what I've done in the past. Obviously, right now I'm in my truck driving to a destination, and I don't have any specific photos in mind. There's a pretty decent sized downtown with some skyscrapers and different things, and I hope I could find something interesting to shoot. I've never done any street photography here, so this is all going to be new to me, but I'm hoping that you guys can see what a day in the life of a photographer is like. Anyway, so today I'm going to do some street photography and hope get something cool to talk about. The main camera I'm going to be using is my EOS R from Canon. It was the first real mirrorless system with the R mount, and it's a great camera. It is about 6 years old now, and the reason why I'm out shooting with old equipment as opposed to new equipment is I went to a photo meetup the other day, and I had two things happen when I was at the meetup. For one, I watched a lot of people walking around, and it was like a swinging dick contest. Excuse my French, but anyway, you know, it's look at me, I have the latest gear, blah, blah, blah. And they weren't even taking anything significant as far as pictures go. In fact, a lot of them weren't taking pictures really at all. It was kind of upsetting to see a bunch of photographers that really are more about showing off than about getting the pictures and about making art happen, you know. And the other thing is the non-photographers that I spoke with, and I would show them some of my pictures that I'd get, you get a common reaction that is, oh, well, yeah, your camera takes really good pictures. Or, yeah, if I had a brand new camera, I'd probably be able to get nicer pictures or whatever. And so there's two things happening. People that weren't photographers assume you get those pictures because the camera is brand new and nice and has all the bells and whistles. And then photographers want to show off that they have these cameras that have all these bells and whistles, but they're not getting the pictures. So for me, I remember when the EOS R first came out, I thought, this camera is awesome and it has all these new bells and whistles, and it had mixed reviews when it came out. But me liking camera gear and liking Canon, I had to have it. And so I went and bought the latest and greatest. And I will tell you, it was great. Not because of the camera, but because it was new to me. And I love that. And I love getting new gear because you get that excitement, that pizzazz to go out and shoot. Now, if you are just going to go put yourself around a bunch of other photographers just to show off that you have the latest and greatest, you're not going to get art. So that pizzazz will go away. Now, when you show off your pictures with that latest and greatest gear to people that don't know the difference between whether or not you got it from a brand new camera, or in this case today will be a 6-year-old camera, they usually think, oh, well, yeah, you got a really nice camera, you know, whatever. And so that will also make you not want to shoot a lot because you get a little deflated. You're like, oh, shit, man, you know, like I can't win. My peers judge me if I don't have the latest and greatest, and everybody else basically, you know, assume that it's all the camera gear. And so today, what I'm going to do, long story short, is I'm going to go out and use my old camera gear. By today's standards, it's by far not the greatest. It doesn't have the newest autofocus thing. It does have good focusing, and it's got a great sensor and everything, but it's not compared to my EOS R5 or you know, any of the new, even compared to my wife's R50, which is a consumer camera. It lacks in speed and it lacks in like the autofocus, and it just isn't the greatest compared to new equipment. I still think it's a great camera, and today we'll show you what I can get with it. It's amazing. You don't have to have the latest and greatest. And, you know, same with my Fuji down here. It's not the camera, it's the person behind the camera. You know, the most important part of the camera is 12 inches behind it, which is your brain. And I agree, you know, like from a creative standpoint, the camera doesn't know what you want to shoot. No AI out there, which these cameras don't have any AI in them, but no AI out there can even do that. That creativity comes within, and I think a lot of times when you get the latest and greatest new gear, you get creative for a very short time, and then the newness wears off and you don't. And then a lot of times when you're out trying to be creative, a lot of times you'll get deflated by people that don't understand the process. And, oh yeah, check out this picture I took on my phone, you know, because they think it's the same, and it's not. And so today we're going to go out and I'm going to walk downtown and snap some pictures. You know, I am not a street photographer, you know. I think street photography is amazing. I think it's got a look to it, you know, and when you're doing it right, it is great. But a lot of times people just think you just go out and just shoot random stuff and that's street photography. There's some truth to that, I guess, but there's a look that when you see it, you know it. You're like, oh yeah, that's great. And so we'll see if I can get something here. I'm just pulling in downtown, so tune back in a second. All right, so I made it to my destination, and I'm right downtown Jacksonville, Florida, and already I can see that there's going to be some good stuff. Now, a lot of people, just to preface it, what's going on here, a lot of people don't like it. Like if you take pictures of, say, homeless people and, you know, the street grime and grit. But unfortunately, that's just a part of city life. So, you know, I'm going to take a little bit of everything. So that first picture was kind of a good start. Like I said, a lot of people get all weirded out when you take pictures of homeless because whatever reasons, I don't even know what the big deal would be. But here's the deal: is it's a factor in life. Some of these people choose that lifestyle, and some of them are unfortunate that they, you know, fell into that lifestyle. But you know, the thing is you can document anything. That's what street photography is about, is documenting what you see on the street. And unfortunately, you know, in bigger cities, you're going to see some homeless, and you're going to see some grit and grime, and that a lot of times makes interesting pictures. So unfortunately, a lot of times when you're out doing street photography, there's just not much to shoot. You know, maybe people are in working or doing other things, but it is what it is. You know, you just go out and capture things. Sometimes it might just be a pigeon that you think that's interesting. Sometimes it's a piece of architecture. Last time I was down in this area, there was some cool little stuff happening in the parks and people around, and it's probably just the time of day more than anything, but there's not a lot going on right now. So I'm going to keep walking around and see if I can find at least some interesting architecture or some sort of grit, like I like to say. But as far as interesting characters, not a whole lot going on yet. All right, so I got a couple of things, but honestly, downtown was kind of dead today, so I'm gonna drive around a little bit more and see if there's anything else. That's how it goes when you're out shooting, but it doesn't change the quality of your pictures. If there's something out there, whether it be a person, place, or thing, whatever that you're trying to document, it doesn't matter the equipment that you use or the methods that you use to get the picture. It's about getting the picture, and that's really the point of today, is to go out and make pictures happen. You know, the thing that a lot of people don't realize is, as a photographer, you are making pictures. You're not taking pictures. If you're just going out there and taking pictures, then you're no different than anybody with their cell phones or whatever nowadays. They're just snapshots. But to make a picture, you go out and search for something. You search for a look. You search for people doing interesting things, and then you wait for it to unfold, and then you take the picture and make it into what you want. Now, another thing I like to stress to people is, when others look at your pictures, they'll never know what camera you shot it on, whether it be your iPhone, your EOS R, your Fuji 100F, your brand new Nikon Z9, whatever you want to shoot with. Just know that the people looking at your pictures are not going to know that you're using old equipment or new equipment, or your cell phone, or, you know, the highest end camera made. At the end of the day, it's about capturing the moment, making the picture the way you want it, and presenting it to people so they could make their judgments on it. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually driving into kind of the ghetto, I guess, of downtown, the part that, you know, a lot of people will tell you not to go into. And I'm not recommending people do this to get their pictures, but I do know that in these type of scenarios, you can get things that you wouldn't normally get if you're just in the fancy spots. So if you feel comfortable, go out. And if you want to capture some grit, some texture, some the grime of the city, you got to go to where the grime is at. If you go to the polished downtown, you may get some really cool architecture and maybe some business people doing some interesting things, but you're not going to get the grit and the grime and the texture that I think street photography embodies. All right, so I gave up on downtown and I just made it over to the beach. There's usually somebody walking around here, so we'll see if I can capture some interesting subjects, and we'll go from there. All right, well, I'm going to call it a day as far as driving around and trying to find specific spots. In Florida, about this time of day, it's pretty hot. It's almost 90 degrees, and people are actually just not out and about in the spots that are convenient for me to go shoot in. And then earlier today, when I first started going out, I went into some, not so savory areas, not the safest spots, although during the middle of the day it's okay. I mean, you're fairly safe, but definitely had some interactions with people that were not favorable, and so that stunted where my photography was going to go. It just proves it's not the gear, it's the situation and your mindset and stuff like that. So hopefully I have something to show you. Hopefully I'll be able to have some slideshows of some of the stuff I got today. But honestly, it's just good to go out every single day and shoot something. If you really want to be good at your craft, you just got to go out and do it. If you want to niche down and only do one style, then just do that one style over and over again. I have a different opinion where I don't think that you need to niche. I know that a lot of people try to push photographers to pick a style and stay with that, but I'm of the opinion that a subject is a subject, and really the whole point of photography is understanding light. And so light doesn't change with your subject. Your subject really is enhanced by whatever lighting it's in. So we have to get back to the mindset of photography is photography. And if you're interested in, say, people, you could do portrait photography, you could do street photography, you could do event photography, you could do so on, etc. But it's still, the common core thing there is it's photography, and if you don't want to do people and say you want to do animals, wildlife, same thing. You could do that, but then does that mean you can't go take pictures of cars later? No, you could totally take pictures of cars. The principles are the same in photography no matter what. So learn your camera, learn the fundamentals of light and how to get exposure right. The subject won't really matter. And like I said before, when somebody's looking at your pictures, they won't know what camera you shot it on. They won't know how high in megapixels it is. You don't need to shoot with a 50 megapixel or 100 megapixel camera. My iPhone now supposedly has 48 megapixels. And honestly, I have cameras that are, lower megapixels, under 20, and they take great pictures. It's all here. It's not the equipment. All right, guys. Hopefully I got something to show you, and we will catch you guys on the flip side. See you next video. Oh yeah, one more thing. If you like my videos and you want to see me succeed, you want to get more information out of me, or just want to see me fail, please like and subscribe, and maybe make a comment just to let me know that you're there. And then we'll see you on the next video. Peace.